appreciate anyone coming up and sharing. This is a reflection of the last 3 days, kind of takeaways. I know some of you give it to me, but a lot of our neck jumpers are behind the scenes. They're doing some of the core revenue, as Mark asked. So it's always awesome to kind of hear any thoughts you may have. So don't be shy.
Thank you. I think I mentioned it earlier, but I felt incredibly spoiled this week. So from the food to the drinks, I mean, you guys really crushed it in the realm of hosting. So thank you very much. But in addition to all those luxuries, this was an incredible opportunity to get more tools and to be able to take that back to our teams to implement it and to hopefully make the better me, better you, better us. So thank you.
Just wanted to say thank you to all the team. Thank you for the support. It's fantastic. I kind of look at this as almost the inverse of a consultant, where they come to your organization and they're telling you how to do things from an ivory tower and dissecting your stuff and providing a model. But instead of doing it that way, you've kind of done the opposite: is bring us in and show what works, and something that hopefully we can take these skills to be able to come back. So sincerely, thank you. The food, fantastic. It's so good. Like, it's so good. Thank you so much for all that. And sincere thank you. It's been fantastic.
Echo what the first two said, and really what I took away, and I like to do things by quotes. And what my big two takeaways from this that I'm going to go implement in my unit is the true currency in human development is truth, honest, constructive feedback. And the second takeaway is invest and focus on who you are and who your people are, and not on what they do. So thank you guys for that and everything you guys provided. Appreciate it.
I'm gonna go early, or else Greg's gonna come after me like last time. I was the last one and he came after me. So this is my second academy, and again, I feel very grateful to be here with you guys. I learned a lot again, and I want to give a special thanks to all the next jumpers that were open, especially in the situational workshops and doing the coaching and being really vulnerable. I just took a lot from that. So thank you for everything that you put on for us, and thank you especially for being vulnerable with us. Thanks.
So I'm going to do a little different. This was my second time meeting Greg, Tom, Chewy, and Eric. And is he over this way? Oh yeah. Hey Eric. So great time this week. Spending more time with you than one day in December. Thank you guys for the food. As an ex-veteran, I want to say thank you also to the veterans that are here serving the country. I'd like to serve a beer, but no canitas from you, right? How do you say that word? Carnitas. Carnitas. Yes. Yeah. So thank you guys very much. Not Anacortes.
All right, so first off, thanks to the staff. Thanks to those that had to listen to me try to give advice on how to do your situation better. Thanks to the people who took the time to explain sitting at lunch and really working through what your days look like, et cetera, and giving me a new perspective that the grass is not always greener on the other side as I look to retire here shortly. You guys worked your butts off, and I was not aware of that. So in addition to that, I wanted to share Jason's journey with Next Jump. For those of you who knew me before, so I was a skeptic. November 27th, which is 2 days before, the day before Thanksgiving, I got called in the office at 8 o'clock in the morning and said, "You're going to do this Next Jump thing." And okay, great. I don't have any idea what that is, but at 3 o'clock, I think we had a telecon that explained that I was in charge of running the CLA. That was happening on Tuesday after Thanksgiving, or Monday after Thanksgiving, excuse me. So Monday after Thanksgiving, I came in and I was all in because the boss was interested, so therefore I was fascinated. But what really got me was the 100-year change brief. At that point, I went, these guys actually have something here, and the optimism was rising. They made me give up and stand up. Well, they didn't make me. I volunteered to stand up and do my leadership journey, which was probably one of the harder things I've had to do, standing in front of a bunch of people. And then Charlie and Megan head shrank me in front of everybody. That was awesome. And then, but I was actually, after that, it was all in. Everything looked great. I actually have been all out at this point because we're trying. We're trying and we're failing miserably. So it was great that I was given the opportunity to come here and actually get some background and some history behind it, et cetera, because I'm leaving here with cautious optimism. The real thing that sold me was last night, sitting and talking and realizing that what these guys have gone through is a 20-year process. They're explaining 20 years of evolution, and I try to do it in three weeks. That's not going to happen. So that was the renewed sense of optimism. So I wanted to thank everybody for that.
Oh, I'm.
Okay, so I saw Next Jump like 3 years ago. The Air Force started really pushing folks to come Next Jump, and I was fascinated with it. I thought it was different concepts than we see in the Air Force. Some same, but maybe rebranded differently, right? And I wanted to go, and I wanted an opportunity. And I just feel grateful that I even got the opportunity to come, because in the Air Force, not many people get the opportunity. So your leadership team really has to want it and has to push you for it. So thanks to Next Jump for offering these opportunities for the Air Force team, me and my Air Force teammates. And I'm grateful for the leadership team that I have also. But I want to say thanks to you, the Next Jumpers, for opening up. I also believe like that's a huge part of it, right? Just being able to sit down and have conversations. Chewy and I had some really great conversation the other night. And I think coming here really opened me up and explained and helped me see what my leadership team's been trying to do. But I didn't have all the background to fill in the holes. And so it really, really, really impacted me a lot more getting here and being able to see it for myself and understand it a little better. And then how do you tweak what my leadership was trying to do so that, you know, it doesn't take sending everybody here to get that background knowledge to be able to execute it as effectively as possible and try to work through that and iterate it. So again, thank you to the entire team for all the hard work, effort you guys put into creating this opportunity for us and for our teams. It's a definitely a wonderful opportunity, so thank you.
I'd like to thank everybody for the entire week, from the Next Jump team to all the attendees. It's an outstanding opportunity to get to hear all sorts of different opinions. Like Heather said, a lot of the same principles and whatnot that I've learned over my 20 years in the military, but rebranded, repackaged, but also a different spin on it, something that's closer to that's more relatable to the younger generation, that's the key to the corporate workforce as well as the key to our military force. In addition to that, being able to kind of cross that gap, also giving me techniques and whatnot that you guys use in the corporate world that are applicable to the military that maybe we haven't considered or haven't seen in the past. So thank you for those opportunities. And for Kristen, Aaron, and Richie, thank you for listening to our coaching, be it good or bad. Hope you guys got something out of it, because we definitely got a lot out of listening to you guys and actually having the one-on-one discussion, or 3-on-4 discussion of exactly kind of how you do things here at Next Jump, how you guys view the world, how you guys view leadership. So thank you.
First of all, thank you. Next Jumpers, you guys are amazing. And I'm so grateful for what you're doing and what you're inspiring in so many people. I've loved meeting everyone. I come at this from kind of a different perspective, I think, because I've been at a company where we rolled out the ivory tower culture push down. And for some of us, it's been very authentic and from the heart, but that's sort of scattered. And so taking it from this perspective where you have your own people deploying it yourselves, I think is the heart of authenticity to really make it sustainable and long-term, where it's going to have that lasting impact on the business. So thank you again.
Alrighty, thanks to everybody in Next Jump for the hosting. The food was great, all of that fantastic stuff. A couple things that I am going to take away. One of them is always thought I was the young, like, hip one. I'm not. But what Next Jump has given is me to really see and I be real with myself that I am not doing a good job connecting with what I'll call my millennials. And really looking at, I need to look at, I've got some tools, but continue to look and search out how I'm really going to get down to them and get them to be truthful with us as leaders, what's happening in our organization. So thank you.
Thank you very much for these past 3 days. It opened my eyes to a lot of things. One of the things, I've spent my entire adult life in the military, so getting to see some of the corporate world and how you do business, different perspectives, it was a valuable, very valuable opportunity for me. So I greatly appreciate your hospitality and you open your doors to us to allow us to come in and take a peek inside and sharing your knowledge with us. To the Next Jumpers, especially those that you opened up and shared a lot of things with us this week. I wish you guys all the best as you guys start off your careers. It's nice to be able to kind of get to connect with the younger generation, and it makes me reassured that this country, we're in good hands. So wish you all the best.
I just want to take the opportunity to thank everybody at Next Jump. You guys are a class act, and I've honestly felt at home for the last 3 days, especially since I really don't know what day of the week it is. So jet lag's still kicking my rear end. I will say that I was definitely skeptical coming into this, and I think there are still some things that I still need to wrap my nugget around, but there are also some tools that I saw throughout the week that I'm obviously going to take back with me. I think one of the big valuable things that I got out of this, if nothing else, was going to be the crosstalk of the people in the room, getting to see different perspectives and realizing, much like we talked about, that people have common problems, common concerns, common challenges, which is great. For those of you that don't know what's going on at Eielson Air Force Base, just to set the stage, this is a really cool opportunity. So right now, much like the origins of Next Jump, we are a squadron of two people. There is me as the director of operations, and there is the squadron commander, and that is it. So we are literally starting from scratch. There is nothing written down on how we should do this. So we can literally mold the culture of our organization however we see fit. So when I come to an organization like this and I see the passion that you guys talk about that, it's infectious, and it's getting me excited to go back up, even though we have no jets to fly. But hopefully we'll have those soon. So we'll be setting up another squadron in late fall as well. So 2 huge opportunities to kind of set the culture, set that heritage, and continue it on into the future. So again, thank you guys.
I can always give it to Gretchen. I know Gretchen. Sure. You're already.
So yes, I am an alum. I'm incredibly grateful. And the short story is, you heard it at the beginning, I retired last year. I thought, I've done my thing. I'm going to go do a lot of volunteer work, and then had the opportunity was extended to me to come and work for Harvard, specifically the Harvard School of Public Health, with this SHINE program, well-being. And I've just been having a wonderful time with that, just sharing and helping them grow. And now they're at the point where they're like a small company within a very big company with the constrictions of the big company, but they want to take off. And so that's what we're working on. And this is just a perfect opportunity to insert it right now, which is why when Dr. Eileen McNeely said, we want you to go back for the second one with Eloise, and you two are it. You're going to just take us, because there's just 10 of us. But it's not just for SHINE. The idea is, let's use SHINE as a pilot for within the Harvard School of Public Health and see what happens. So that's what we're going to do. So it's a big challenge. I'm saying, geez, last night I said to my partner, Mark, this is what it's all about. He said, so you're not retiring until you're 90. I said, probably. So Next Jumpers, you have no idea. This is what you have is something that's so incredible. What I had hoped for and what I dreamed about back in the 70s and 80s, you guys are capturing it. You're running with it. And it makes me beam. So I'm just going to take out as much of that as I can. Thank you.
Okay, now Dennis is gonna go first.
First of all, to the next jumpers, I so much enjoyed the one-on-one conversations that I had with people. Just to being able to kind of take what you personally have picked up being here and a part of this organization, and being able to hear the personal excitement and commitment that it's brought to you is absolutely awesome. I also wanted to thank Next Jump for carving out 4 spots. And for the 4 of us who are able to come from Washington and South Carolina and give us the opportunity to be able to spend time together that we would not do if we were at the office. The spontaneity, the problem solving, and the reflection, we just don't get to do. And so for Mark, for Mark, we don't get to spend much time together. And so this was really great. So I really thank Next Jump for that. The food was phenomenal. And so the time and effort that was put in, we really do want to thank you. And the other part of this, of course, is seeing this in action is a fulfillment of a personal philosophy that I have, is that when we as leaders are about building the expertise and the health of our people, it results in a compounded manner and a healthy company that's profitable, and that in turn can be a phenomenal example for the communities in which we come from, was refreshing. So just keep doing what you're doing, and again, just a heartfelt thank you for all of you. Thanks.
I'll start with some reflection and then thank yous. Just my personal reflection on kind of like whenever I go to stuff like this. I've been to 3 levels of Air Force PME and done well, and like I thought I had that thing pretty well down, and then you go to something like this and it kind of plugs you into the matrix and you feel like you're back at square one, and you're like, man, I got so far to go, man. But it's good. It's a good feeling. I think, when we talked a little bit at some point about flatlining, and if you think you're stuck, that's kind of where you need to, and you're not willing to get better, I think that's where you need to throw in the towel. Like, that's a good sign you like just hang it up. So you need this stuff every once in a while to kind of put you in an uncomfortable place and spur you into growth. So I think for that, it's been fantastic for me. And then thank you to, of course, Next Jump, I'll say that in a minute, but thanks to all the attendees, because I think what we're missing is, to have thought leaders in big organizations, small organizations, branches of the military. That's super powerful on a macro level, because I'm an optimist, and maybe too high, right? That maybe I'm a clear good guy, and like maybe that's dangerous, and I should work on that. But I like, this is not only good for the organizations that we all belong to, but ultimately it's good for the world, right? Like, if I dream of a utopia, and if everybody at every level is kind of plugged into these things, like we're creating good people, separate to business, separate to the military. You're just making fantastic people, and that's really, really, really powerful. And then thanks to Next Jump, I was telling, I think, Richie, about, like, I feel like we're gonna leave and you're gonna get ones on your feedback for how this went, but I'm sure that's not the case. But I just wanted to, before that happens, I just wanted to give you all some, just, you guys are 4s, and I would give you 4s, because it's one of those things where, like, I'm sure there's tons of crap behind the scenes that, like, you're like, ooh, that went horribly. From an attendance perspective, just fantastic, right? Like, seamless. I mean, I got help with my chair. My chair didn't work, and I was like, I know this is way below your pay grade, but can you move my chair? so you guys are fantastic on every level. So thank you so much.
Oh, Sheila, go first. Okay, Lily.
So I speak quite a bit for our company. And, you know, I once heard if you're not pushing the boundaries, much as you said, you're not growing. And I found it, even now I'm nervous. And normally I'm never nervous. I get up there in front of hundreds of people and talk about the stuff I know really well. But talking about myself, nerve-wracking. So as I collect my thoughts, I'll just say, Greg, thank you for offering your feet for me to step on during dance. I lost count, I think at 2 or 3. But wow, I was a skeptic. And, you know, in a company where we're producing product for profit, you know, it's easy to get caught up and just think it's all about the money, the bonus, or, you know, the greed portion of what you guys are talking about. But I often bring it down and tell our employees, you know, it's that money that puts food on families' tables. So even if we're building something that's not necessarily changing the world or protecting the world, we're building something that's producing a world. And it's a world for our employees, which is, I would say, important. And if we can change the rest of the world, or at least some aspect of it for the better, we're doing good. Thank you for opening my eyes. You know, a lot of wonderful concepts here. We're excited to actually go and start employing some of them, knowing it's going to be a lot harder in practice. It's easy to think, you know, I have to get up there and tell other people stuff about me. The one person you should know the most about, I know more about that than technology, I would think, but it's difficult. So thank everyone for a great week.
So this has been a great experience, and thank you so much for your hospitality, your openness, your warmth. I am processing so much, and it's really difficult to quantify the level of my gratitude, but most importantly, my hope for better tomorrow in my life, but also at the organization that I work for. It has been a through and through experience, spiritual, you know, the body, the emotional, all. You take the entire pyramid, the infinity of me was affected by the lessons, the honesty, the youth, the experience, and even connecting with those in New York really helped to fill in all of the gaps that might have existed. But I feel very privileged to be here. And again, gratitude. So one of my favorite quotes is from Maya Angelou that says, people forget what you say, people forget what you do, but they never forget how you made them feel. So thank you for making me feel part of something larger than myself and making me feel part of this family that's called Next Jump. And I have gift cards for the Next Jumper, so thank you.
Anyone else that wants to go have it all day?
I've been looking forward to getting the opportunity to come here. I thought maybe it might happen at some point, and I want to thank you guys for doing this really out of the goodness of your heart. I mean, there's no other way to put it. You don't have to do it. It's not part of the main thrust of how you guys put good numbers on the books, and it's amazing. I'm afraid that if we took it at the big Air Force level and put it on paper, we would totally ruin it. So I'm trying to figure out how to like reconcile that in my mind, but the grassroots kind of approach that you guys have used is I think super effective. And you guys that work here, like, man, count your blessings. Like, this is, I mean, people, if they knew what you had, they would do anything to get in here. Probably they'd probably lie, hide, and fake their way into the company if they knew what was really going on here. That's pretty amazing.
For those of you guys, I'm going to guess that there's, I don't know, I'm stealing books if there's not any in the bags over there. I don't know what's going on, but
You're welcome.
thank you. I appreciate that. But if you haven't read, this, you guys are in like a celebrity company. Like really, that's how I look at you guys. Like you guys are kind of, you're a big deal, like out there in the world of this space of kind of leadership development and feedback and all of that stuff. And I'm just super privileged to have been able to be around you guys for the whole week and eat great food and meet some awesome people. So just thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it.